Hello, welcome to my next video, and this video must be on the US aggression in Iran. Well, you already know that the United States has attacked three nuclear sites of Iran: Fordo, Isfahan, and Natanz, aiming to eliminate all the nuclear enrichment facilities of Iran. However, consequently and undoubtedly, world powers are polarized into two groups on this issue. Some superpowers have slammed madness of the Trump administration, while others praised Trump on his actions against Iran. Let's see how the world reacts on the US strikes against Iran. Let's turn to Iran. Iranian Minister of Foreign Affairs Abbas Araghchi says the United States has committed a grave violation of the UN Charter and international law by attacking Iran's peaceful nuclear installations. The events this morning are outrageous and will have everlasting consequences. Israel's Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu, however, congratulated President Trump, saying, "Congratulations, President Trump. Your bold decision to target Iran's nuclear facilities with the awesome and righteous might of the United States will change history." UN Secretary General Antonio Guterres says, "I am gravely alarmed by the use of force by the United States against Iran today. This is a dangerous escalation in a region already on the edge, and a direct threat to international peace and security. There is no military solution. The only path forward is diplomacy. The only hope is peace." Hamas. You know that Hamas is one of the allies of Iran. In a statement, the Palestinian armed group Hamas condemned the US attack on Iran, stating, "The US aggression against Iran is a dangerous escalation, blind obedience to the occupiers' agenda, and a clear violation of international law. We declare our solidarity with Iran, its leadership, and its people. And we have full confidence in Iran's ability to defend its sovereignty." Now, Qatar, one of the Middle East countries, Qatar says it fears serious impacts after the US airstrikes on nuclear facilities in Iran. Its foreign ministry warns that the current dangerous escalation in the region may lead to catastrophic consequences at both the regional and international levels. Oman, which was mediating nuclear talks between the US and Iran, has strongly condemned the US strikes against Iran. The Gulf state expresses deep concern, denunciation, and condemnation of the escalation resulting from the direct airstrikes launched by the USA. Iraq has warned the US attacks on its neighbor Iran's nuclear facilities threaten peace and stability in the Middle East. It said, "This military escalation constitutes a grave threat to peace and security in the Middle East and poses serious risks to regional stability. What does UK say? However, British Prime Minister Keir Starmer stood beside Trump's actions on Iran. He said Iran's nuclear program is a grave threat to international security. Iran can never be allowed to develop a nuclear weapon, and the US has taken action to alleviate that threat. The situation in the Middle East remains volatile, and stability in the region is a priority. European Union Foreign Policy Chief Kaja Kallas, on his X post, says Iran must not be allowed to develop a nuclear weapon, as it would be a threat to international security. I urge all sides to stay back, return to the negotiating table, and prevent further escalation. Australian government statement says, we have been clear that Iran's nuclear and ballistic missile program has been a threat to international peace and security. We note the US President's statement that now is the time for peace. The security situation in the region is highly volatile. We continue to call for de-escalation, dialogue, and diplomacy. However, the top diplomats in the House of Representatives in the USA accused Trump of pushing the country towards war. They said President Trump misled the country about his intentions, failed to seek congressional authorization for the use of military force, and risks American entanglement in a potentially disastrous war in the Middle East. They said Donald Trump shoulders complete and total responsibility for any adverse consequences that flow from his unilateral military action. Russia, on the other hand, its President Putin, however, did not make any formal comment on this issue until now. But Dmitry Medvedev, the deputy chairman of Russia's Security Council, said that President Donald Trump started a new war for the US by attacking Iran. China is thought one of the allies of Iran in the region. Its government has condemned the US strikes through state media, describing the US action as a dangerous turning point. It says, history has repeatedly shown that military intervention in the Middle East often produce unintended consequences, including prolonged conflicts and regional destabilization. Pakistan. The Pakistan authorities have also condemned the US airstrikes against Iranian nuclear sites, warning of the risk of a wider escalation in West Asia. Pakistan's foreign ministry said the country is gravely concerned about the potential for increased tensions in the region. The US strikes violate all norms of international law, and emphasized that Iran has a right to defend itself under the UN Charter. Saudi Arabia is thought to be the most important superpower in the Middle East. It says in a statement expressing great concern that the Kingdom of Saudi Arabia is following with great concern the developments in the sisterly Islamic Republic of Iran, represented by the targeting of Iranian nuclear facilities by the United States of America. The kingdom expresses the need to exert all efforts to exercise restraint, de escalate, and avoid escalation. So, this is all for today, and thanks for joining me. I think you enjoyed the reactions from the world superpowers and powerful nations and leaders. So don't forget to subscribe the channel. Thank you.